Isaac Buchanan. I am R in none such. Where are you? Isaac Buchanan, Member of Parliament, Portland Eastern. We're in none such at the community centre where we're doing the Labour Day project, one of the major projects that's being done in the constituency. And as you can see, it is the netball court. We're asphalting the netball court, fully asphalt. You understand?
So we are extremely grateful for the court. I remember when we barely had a bump and we had to bungle up on the court, 14 of us playing. So it's coming from a very far away. So we're extremely grateful to Mr. Mackenzie and Mr. Buchanan for giving us this wonderful court.
Tell them how much more we need to fix the netball court, right? How much we need? For do what? All right. We're raising the funds. The youth in the community did what they were doing. I'm very proud of them. And as a reward, we're undertaking a $1 million project right now, asphalted. Very proud of the work that we're doing. And I must say to you, the work don't stop. Watch it, guys. Yeah, man. One rose bunny up.
This project has been coming from a few years with the Nantes Police Youth Club asking for assistance in constructing a netball court. It is something that took a lot of volunteerism, but we completed last week in terms of concrete works. But I must give great credit to Member of Parliament Isaac Buchanan, who partnered with us in ensuring that we are now with the paving, the asphalted concrete being put on it to give it a better, more professional look. So let me commend all the persons who work on this project, especially ladies, Sandra, Trudy, and all the young ladies and young men who give their time week after week. Sometimes they have things to do, but they made a sacrifice. With this, I say to the community, we can achieve more. We just need everybody to come together and believe.
We are really grateful. The little young men, they stopped playing their football to come and help us. The other community members, old and young, they came out. We are really grateful and we want to tell you a big thank you. Right now, we are getting our Barber Green and it is looking very great. And we will enjoy jumping up and down on the court in June, yes. Hopefully we win some matches, but we are a young team, but we are getting there. Yes, big up to our sponsors, Mr. Wayne Mackenzie and Mr. Isaac Buchanan. Yes, and the rest of persons who really made this possible. We are grateful. Thank you.
I know MP Buchanan will be doing some improvement on the field. I can't give a timeline, but I know it won't be long. And as I said earlier, I must commend him. Since he has been here, he has put his money where his mouth is in ensuring that the development takes place. And committed that none such must get it proper. So I again say thanks to him, thanks to the entire team, thanks to the team that is working right now, and thanks to everybody who support this project. I know we'll do more, we'll do greater things across the division and across the constituency. But our commitment is to people, to community, to the upliftment of everything and everybody. And we will do that. And we will not do it on a partisan basis, we'll do it on a community basis, that everybody become part. The entire community is a stakeholder, and we are partnering with the stakeholders, irrespective of who they are. We'll be doing it, and we'll be doing it all over for as long as we can.
They are going to give you 2 lessons, one on teamwork and one on family. It's when you work with your family and you work as a team, the dream work. That's what teamwork makes the dream work mean. So I'm standing here with Wayne Mackenzie, the councillor for the Prospect Division, and just let me tell you something. We made a promise and we kept it. Promise made, promise kept, and none such community centre, they now have their netball court. If you know the hard work that Wayne Mackenzie put into ensuring that this netball court came to life, This is just the finishing touch, and I'm happy to be a part of it. And with your member of parliament and your council, let me tell you, all things are possible. Boom, look for yourself. Proof is in the asphalt.
Very clear.
In living color, you can do what you want to do. Rain, sun, or shine, the work is being done. Standing here in Prospect Land Settlement where we are completing a stretch of the Harris County Roadway, and I can tell you this, the residents right now very happy that we got the road. Once again, promise made, promise kept. Standing here with Wayne Mackenzie.
Today the day paving was slated for, and we are paving in the rain. A few years ago, when persons, especially in this area, because at the back of it, at Lancet by the podium, where people always say that we always do work at the front and they are left out. I told them the next time the work is done on this road, it will be this section. I know the Member of Parliament will be assisting greatly in many other areas within the division. Within the entire constituency, because I speak specifically of the Prospect division and the Port Antonio division that we have held since 1986. We will do great work. East Portland will see tremendous development under this Member of Parliament. Prospect and Port Antonio will see equally that significant amount of improvement, not just as it relates to road, but general and physical infrastructure, sporting facilities, education, health in every area, because we intend to bring the East to ensure the true development of East Portland and the parish of Portland overall.
You know, I just want to say one thing though. In the 40th year of all the days, Councillor Wayne Mackenzie pick a green shirt.
and having on the green shirt, you know, it is a significant statement also that we are not partisans.
Yeah,
we can wear whatever we want. It is not fully green, but it is green enough. But it's not about the color, it's about the performance and the contribution. But democracy is what we believe in. And democracy means irrespective of everything, everybody, we are inclusive. And green it is, but the trees are also green. And remember, progress is us. Orange, red, People's National Party. I don't care. We just want to know that we are representing people, and we will always treat everybody, GLP, PNP, the no P. We are inclusive.
Yeah, we will assess that response and see if that was a correct response for the violation of the green shirt. But what's right?
keep it straight. No time for living a lie. Gotta keep it moving till you get it right. That's right, it's all in life. Gotta keep your head up and keep it straight. No time to be living a lie. You can make it if you try. I heard them say, life much better, you live it your own way.
Greetings, and you are tuned into Context Matters. The date is June 11, 2026, and I'm happy to say that I'm your host, Isaac Buchanan. The middle name is Aquaba, in case you didn't know. And the topic for today, what's going on? I really should have said what's going on in Jamaica, but it's really a mystery versus history. Let me put that in context. Do you want to go down in history as just a real villain, or do you want to be a victor? Do you want to be somebody that fought for the rights and improvement of the citizens and advocate for the least among us in our society? These are real questions to be answered, my people. Real, true questions that are to be answered by persons who form a part of the governance structure, or whether it be just people on a whole who are out there trying to make a mark for themselves. One of the key things that's happening right now is the world can be so selective, selective morality. And it's not impossible, because Jesus dealt with what was known as situation ethics. He didn't deal with everybody. He didn't solve every single issue. He was very selective in how he meted out his blessings. But the most important thing is that those that he chose was consistent. It is easier for the camel to pass through the needle of an eye than a rich man to get into the gates of heaven. I suppose that's why they spend so much time making sure that their heaven is on earth, and tell you that any riches you're going to get is in heaven. So don't waste your time. Just try to be poor. Now, if you're watching from or listening from Reggae Global Radio, I want to say Wagwan, not what's going on. That's the topic. And if you're watching from or listening from Best FM 100 and you're tuned in, I want to say, listen, do what you got to do. Don't make the traffic frustrate you. All right? And if you're listening from YouTube, Walking in Divine Purpose running the moderation over there. And she will tell you, we are, despite what anybody said, continuing our tablet drive. Back to school is fast approaching, and we have obligations to the youths, the students of Portland Eastern. They are primary and paramount. Technology is the gateway to a successful educational journey. Believe me when I'm saying that. Somebody say, you Ming too. You Ming too. Okay. If you're joining from TikTok, you know what to do. Tap up the screen and share the live. And moderators on TikTok, feel free to block anybody that's in violation of the streaming policies. Okay? Ensure that it is respectful, mindful, and in keeping with context, and also the Broadcasting Commission of Jamaica. Try not to curse any bad words or be disrespectful to anybody, because anybody will do their will be and radius will pay a fine. Anyway, moving on from that. Like I said, so many things going on. I'm gonna tell you, sometimes things just reveal itself. The level of revelation, and I just want to say one simple thing, and I know I've been pretty much kind of, doing my best to navigate the space, doing my best to say, hey, let me make an effort to pretty much, let me see if I'm saying the right thing. I'm trying to make effort to, no, it's not forward. I'm legitimately making an effort to make a change in, yeah, I'm making an effort to make a change and contribute to nation building in such a way that the people of Portland Eastern, who gave me the opportunity to represent them and advocate for them in Parliament, must say that I am proud of my MP, because he's doing what I sent him to do in Parliament. Bear in mind, they're going to curse me about roads and they're going to curse me about other things. But when them send me to Parliament, them turn on them TV and them text me while I'm in Parliament on my feet and say, look, now you that brother, I'm missing you there, boy. I'm going to say, yeah, I'm saying, I'm proud of you. Because I am not there to big up Instant anyway, say I'm proud of my MP. What you mean? So they said, you know, we send you there to do on a mission. And it's not to cause confusion and chaos. And so for anybody who is interested in what's going on in Parliament, June 23rd, save the date. That is when I will give my speech. And my speech is only on two things: human rights and youth. So you see, if you don't like the youth of Jamaica, don't listen. And you see, if you're one of the people that believe, say, human rights not for go on in Jamaica, don't tune in either. Because this is completely and strictly about that which I just said. Youth and human rights. The primary mission is to ensure that the people of Jamaica understand two things: your freedom, your liberty, your rights, your justice is guaranteed by the Constitution. Yeah? Nobody greater than the Constitution. And also you have a duty under the very Constitution and the Child Care Protection Act to protect every child. It takes a village to raise a child. You get me? So that's where we are. So look for that. But not only that, when laws are being passed in Parliament, it's absolutely important. I'm going to tell you this. It's so important that we ensure that the citizen is protected. And so oftentimes, you see, legislation will be made and persons will get affected by it, i.e. the firearm legislation. The firearm legislation, it just totally is doing everything but what it's supposed to do. I don't know what going on saying. I like what going on. I don't like when I'm on TikTok and the filter not filtering. And then everybody get for sister ugly. Everybody get for sister my hairline or recede. I don't like that. You understand? It cannot be that you spend so much money on a cell phone, go on TikTok, and then the lighting is affecting how good you look on with the filters. Let's go, guys. It is literally the internet. You're supposed to look flawless on the internet. You're supposed to look like AI. People not supposed to know you have a bump in your face and your hairline receding by 76 degrees every 24 hours. No, man, we can't be on TikTok looking like Beanie Man head top. Stop it. We can't be on TikTok looking like we're dancing in our bathrooms and not looking, you know? Stop it. Stop, Jamaica. Stop. Anyway, so I think I made my point. So we must always ensure that while it is that we are advocating for the people, is advocacy where unification is absolutely important. I'm just going to give you a peek of what that is, because there are persons misguided. There are persons who just think that, you know, everything must be a fight, everything must be a war. But before I do that, I must tell you guys this. Portland Eastern football competition is coming up. Don't you forget that. The football competition is coming up. Yeah, again, the football competition in Portland Eastern is going on. Yeah. All right. Don't you forget that. We are ready. Wait a minute. I'm not gonna stop saying that. Yeah. It feels so good. Yeah, what's happening here though is what I want to talk about. So let me play the video and then I'll do the narration thereafter. Thank you, Madam Speaker. And my hope, Madam Speaker, is that I won't have to seek your protection just to make a point. So I will start humbly by saying, in response to the member from, I don't want to say Denham Town, but West Kingston. And I will say humbly that to be clear, I don't think at this point there's any objection to the extension. So anything I say is not in objection, but observations that need to be taken into consideration. I will start by saying that I think we can appreciate that with the greatest efforts from the government, Jamaica is still straddling the fence of being a high crime society, and there's great work. The aspect of human rights is why I rise. I will say that I looked at the Augustown report, and what was missing was something profound. Because while it is that we congratulate the security forces, we appreciate the hard work that they do, when it comes to the right to life, there are just some mishaps that take place that brings distrust within the entire society. For instance, it was only, I want to, if I say correctly, I don't want to misquote, but the date would have been August 27th, thereabout, where a mentally ill young man was unalived, not by the JCF, but from running into the tent, and then there was some altercation with members of the JDF. Now, this was at a Zozo tent. None of that forms a part of the report, and it took place during the timeline. This is significant because what I will say is that what is taking place, certainly from the program, is that there is progress and development within the communities. What it cannot be is to remain as training wheels. If you think of a tricycle, those two, if I'm right, or a bicycle with the two training wheels, is that there has to be a definitive period. There has to be some form of signpost to say that we're ending programs here, because what it seems, or what appears to be, is a reward in some spaces for good behavior in places that are bad, when bad behavior is taking place across the entire Jamaica in areas that there's no answer for. So one cannot, it cannot appear to be a stopgap or an unending fix to a problem which is a crime problem that must be solved by increasing investigation capacity. The Jamaica Eye, I hear all this stuff about JPS and better lighting and all of that. Nobody is objecting to that. But when we speak about body cameras, when we speak about investigation, and when we think of the right to life, it leaves a very bitter taste in our mouth. Madam Speaker, to not be able to genuinely answer to problems of an attack on the right to life. There is also the aspect of freedom of movement. It seems as if when communities are policed, it restricts freedom of movement in such a way, and there are other domestic issues that become unresolved. That's missing from all the reports which I have read. I'm not trying to start any controversy, but I did hear the member from West Kingston say about the relationships between the police force and the community. Well, when you have files on your desk for child support, when you have files on your desk for domestic violence resulting from baby mama drama, which would have come from members of the police force taking away the baby mother of another man and all of that, it becomes drama. Here, listen, respectfully, it becomes problematic because it also forms a part of domestic violence, which is not something that's properly reported. Violence against women is something that is serious, and it's something that it has to form a part of the report, because while we make solutions in one space, we are creating problems, and that's where distrust comes from if we want the police force to be a part of that. So while it is that persons may think that we are simply saying that this is working and we should continue and we're having these programs, we have to also make that assessment, and it forms a part of the reporting, so that when we come here, the concept which everybody hears all the time is about mature consideration. If the program is working, who is being disenfranchised as a result of the program, and whether generally the communities are benefiting by a utilitarian concept, which is the greater good for all, and not just some persons. And for those reasons, I'll just ask Minister the next 6 months, if when we're thinking about how we are going forward, if at some point a definitive period in some of the areas could be an indicator. Because I can say from where I sit, I don't see how someone could say I don't support what is happening, because the evidence is anecdotal. But there are some underlying concerns that has to be addressed. Thank you.
Member from Westmoreland Central.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Well, first let me say, yes, we do.
And so this was a response. This was a response to the amendments brought, not amendments, extensions. So the law of, they call it the law reform, zones of special operations, special security and community development measures. And they gave us the social intervention updates from December 1st, 2025 to May 31st, 2026. In particular to Augustown zone, and the date was June 3rd, 2026. So then it was the Norwood Community Zone, the Greenwich Town Zone, the Mount Salem Community Zone, the Denham Town Community Zone, the Savannah Lamar Zone, and the Parade Gardens Zone. Now, let me tell you why this is important. So I read all the reports, and I'm just telling you now, when I read these reports, I look for youth development, youth engagement, human rights component, public education, and anything that improves. It's not just the space, not just physical space, but activities that enhance the mind, critical thinking, and the space, the environment that is conducive to the betterment internally, mentally, versus what's happening physically. So I read the report painstakingly, but I look I'm the opposition spokesperson on youth and human rights. So when I say what's going on, I keep saying what's going on, and I'm looking around at my colleagues before me, beside me, around me. I'm trying to figure out what's going on. And I said, I don't like when things are mysterious, because even at the point of national security, and at every moment I get the opportunity, you know, I don't hold brief for this family, but I just want to show you something so that you can have a understanding of, put into context what I was talking about. This young man, hold on. This young man here, this young man, and perhaps I should do more than that. Hold on. I crave your indulgence. This young man was the victim of what took place with the Zozo in Augusto. So this young man, he was his family is all that is left, because he's no longer with us. There's a member of the Augustown community. And let me tell you something. The young man could have been me, could have been you. It happens to the best of us. But this is why I say what's going on. Because in law, there's something called causation. But for the Zozo being present and the tent being there, we wouldn't be having this conversation about this young man. So the JDF were the persons who was responsible for unaliving him. He ran into the tent, they defended themselves, or whatever their narrative is. The man is no longer with us. But look at him, a son of Jamaica that has gone into statistics of whether we need body-worn cameras or not, and whether zones of special operations are working. So he was a 34-year-old, and his name was Ricardo Gale. So when I look at him, I see myself, you know, don't worry about it. And then you can say what you want, but this is a young man with all the potentials. And I'm going to take this opportunity to say, for every youth, every young person, young man, youth, male, even female, that die from extrajudicial killings, from bad man, waste man, unaliving, whatever you want to call it. The life of a Jamaican citizen is so important. It's so sacred. Life is something given to us without knowing we are to receive it. The right to life is enshrined in the Jamaican Constitution, and I can only give you the gems and tell you what is there. But he had a name, Ricardo Gale, right? And 3 a.m. there was a confrontation between members of the JDF and the deceased at the zone of special operation checkpoint in Augustown, when he was fatally shot by one of the soldiers. He was rushed to the University Hospital in the West Indies, where he was pronounced dead. They said, they shouldn't kill my cousin, so he wasn't a gunman. A distraught woman at the scene told the Observer Online. He's not a gunman. And a three gunshot them give him. We need justice. He was a sick man. Stop right there. Because I know when you hear me. I know when you hear what I'm saying. In law, the same causation is you take the victim as you find them. So the government has a duty to put young men and women in uniform who can contextualize, put things in its proper context in real time. Context matters is not a show for idle conversation. It is an invitation for you to develop your mind. It is an invitation for you to learn how to think critically and with expedition if you are going to be a part of the organ of the state. So when I got up in Parliament, I was addressing the fact that, yes, Minister of National Security, Zozos, when it first came out, was one of the answers, a tool for crime fighting in Jamaica to bring down crime. A lot of the communities were being controlled and raped by gang dons who they decided when to move and who was breaching constitutional rights horizontally. And the state said we have to take back our communities because it takes a community to raise a child. So let's not lose the context of what I'm saying. And it was that every 60 days they would go into parliament and they would make assessments and monies to be spent to do the social intervention to break and curb crime and give people hope, restore human dignity. So the mission statement must not be lost. The reports must then take into account the mishaps, because who will answer for young Ricardo Gale being unalived by the untrained mind? And I'm raising it here because you see, this is not America. This is not the great United States of America where blackness is inferior in practice. This is Jamaica, where even if you think in theory and even if you attempt to practice minimizing the existence of the black youth, it can't work. So here, why am I saying this? Well, some series of unalivings took place in America. I won't even bring up George Zimmerman. But very recently, some Chinese people have them shop and a young man walk into the shop and then him go to the cooler and then him leave. And then run him down and just shoot him up and him never steal anything. And they went to trial and the jury found him not guilty. Yeah? And you see the young man, Google it yourself. He looks just like Ricardo Gale. Must be the hairstyle. Because any remnants of Rasta business tells a different tale. The lion, the meme, the freedom of expression of Afro identity is offensive to many. Putting it in context for you. Because I watched from a distance a case with public interest was tried, possibly because the young man at the time was a juvenile. Was tried with the expedition unbeknownst to swift justice, something strange to the concept of justice in Jamaica, save and except one case in the history of Jamaica, the King against Dimitri Hemmings, where the Court of Appeal heard the appeal in record time and the man was free while his constitutional rights were violated. Yes? Go Google it. The lawyer in that case, brilliant, brilliant lawyer. I must tell you, I know him personally. And I also know the most erudite King's Counsel in that case too. So enough things was going on there. I won't say the name, Google it. King against Dimitri Hemmings. Anyway, apart from that, there's no swift justice in Jamaica. Justice Sykes is working on it. Because he's in the criminal court and is in the history of this country is the first them ever clear so much cases over there. And no Chucky, you don't get lucky with this one. Chucky no lucky. 10 times you call Madam Justice, you call her 10 times. In St. Elizabeth get big up in a parliament 10 times during the Minister of Justice sectorial debate. I don't ready to get to you yet. But let me finish telling you this. So the case now that I'm now telling you about is the case of Carmelo Anthony. This is a young man, 132 pounds, goes to a track meet. So he is an athlete and he is blessed by God and skill. Let me just tell you something that they didn't tell the people of America about Carmelo Anthony. Carmelo Anthony, when he was young, probably 10 the most or 11, God put him on this earth to save a 6-year-old or a 3-year-old who was drowning in a pool. he made the news before he was even 13 years of age, and he became a Texas hero. Yeah, a young person who had critical thinking skills and had the necessary know-how. Somebody said I'm pick beautiful. So what? I'm not beautiful too. Current. I'm not current through the filter keep dropping off. He had the necessary know-how as a child to save a child. So he knew preserving life was of paramount interest. So it's always about the choice of lawyers, Yeah? Because in America, if you don't have Ben Crump, you must get stumped. So he got himself in a very teenage situation where the racial divide was so real that it cost him his life. And I'm keeping young unalive Ricardo Gale in the picture because, again, when I look at him, he looks like Carmelo Anthony. Yeah? So let's talk about it. He was put to trial for the murder of a young man with his name too, Anthony something, a twin, who didn't want this Negro child under his tent because this Negro child came with Negro ways. And in those Negro ways, I must tell you, he was not to be under the tent fraternizing with the other white folks. And he said, "Can't touch me now? Touch a button now?" Yeah, you know that song? Yeah. And he had a knife that by regulation in Texas you could have. And he said, "I'm not moving," because you see it was raining outside and his school didn't set up a tent because he went to one of those schools that was not a Campion or a Titchfield. If you were in Jamaica, he would have gone to Fair Prospect that need desk and chairs. Only the students of Fair Prospect High School in Portland know what it is to go from English class to math class and have to fight for a chair. Anyway, making my point. He, no questioning the facts, he stabbed the young man. And the young man died. And then everything was a blur from there. The issue of self-defense came to light. The concept of stand your ground is a Texas law that ensures that when a white person's ground is breached, once them turn up in it, them say, "Step in it, night a come," and you know what happens. Not guilty is the verdict. Well, in this situation, there was a pooling and juries was come out. Texas racially divided. One of the times he say, "I'm so proud to be a Jamaican where my constitution makes sure so they can deal with me certain way." Yeah? So I'm giving you this story to understand how important it is to protect justice, to protect constitutional rights in Jamaica. Yeah? So let me tell you now. The way all them want the case done, all upon sat the court to keep. The judge go right through. The judge says 7-day Adventist, where you go? But I'm going to tell you about the jury selection. The black people, them go up on the jury selection. I hear them. I can't send him to jail. He's such a nice young black African man. Young black Afro-American man. I'm not going to send him to jail. And them said, "Come out of the courtroom." And all the black people said, "In the name of Jesus, I will tell the truth. And I can't stand this black man in prison." White jury them come up and said, "Yes, I am unbiased. I'm white. And I can do my job as juror, okay? Karen is my sister. And we're gonna do the job. This is Texas and everything is big in Texas. Ain't no hold'em. So lay your cards down, 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 down. Woo! And win a Grammy for the country album, Beyonce. But anyway, Cowboy Carter. Can't even say this was brought to you by Jay-Z because I'm trim. I don't know, Jay-Z went from dreadlocks to afros. Anyway, and right there and then, I want people to understand and appreciate. He was found guilty for the murder and sentenced to 35 years. You understand? And for the concept of justice, justice was served. And I'm sure the Justice Minister, the Honorable Delroy Chuck in a lucky KC, yep, he would be extremely happy for the verdict. Because he said in Jamaica, constitution and a bare justice in a Jamaica. Justice, we say the way of justice and give out in a Jamaica, you can just remove the name Justice and just we're gonna start call Justice Delroy. Because either we're gonna call it Justice, Zalika, or Delroy. Yeah. So people, when they're not spelling the placards them, when extrajudicial killings take place, when they feel like when the rights are violated, stop writing justice. Everybody must say, we want Delroy, because that's the kind of justice you will get. Yeah? Not just ice. Because in America, if you get just ice, a bullet, just ask the lady that was driving an ice shooter before they replicated that in Jamaica by the JCF. But anyway, so we're starting there. And I must say to you, and I'm going to take down Mr. Gale's photo now. Rest in peace. And to his family, your advocacy and your work in the memory of your family member who suffered from mental illness and was unalive as punishment for his reality. Yeah? For the ignoring of mental health situations in Jamaica. Just know that you need to advocate and keep the memory of your family and loved one alive. What is taking place in Jamaica is absolutely not justice. Now, having said that, I wanted to appreciate that we are at an impasse. We are at a place where we have to say what's going on. What is this mystery that has taken our society? What has been the reason why, notwithstanding, I had to sit in Parliament and listen to performative justice in relation to not admitting that we have a constitutional violation crisis? Because I will agree with the minister, the system is in place. Its operation is what it needs to change. And that is why governance is important. Because I can tell you, I'm saving it for June 2030. I'm going to save it for June 2030. Now call nobody name 10 times or call them constituency 10 times. No con. Me no have no con on my foot so you can't step on it. But to say, believe me when I'm saying this, we cannot redefine justice as Delroy. If the type of justice you want, if you are accepting justice and you like what is happening in Jamaica, and you're okay with the sons and daughters of Jamaica being unalived and they're saying that that is justice, I will tell you, just call it Delroy. And we should put the proper amendments right across the board. And while we can say that administratively, paperwork pushing, things that can be done in the AC that is totally disconnected from the lived human experience. While we can accept that, here are some of the things that we cannot accept. And just so people understand and believe, there was literally, and I'm going to read it, the shortest paragraph in an entire presentation in relation to human rights. In fact, on the point of the Constitution, to cement the fact that I'm telling you that Chucky no lucky. Chucky, you no lucky. And I suppose if this is child's play, you meant what you said, that you're gonna be the friend to the end, because Chucky, too many unaliving, and you cannot stand in the parliament and say justice and constitutionality is the order of the day in Jamaica. And let me tell you, just in case somebody say I'm not giving context, because I hear them a ball out context. Let work with me. Look what this hot body can do. Wrong song, but me can't, my brain now fire the weight for fire. Let me just show you. No human rights problem in Jamaica, says the Honorable. No human rights problem in Jamaica. Yeah, he says Jamaica does not, and I hope will never have a human rights problem. That is what was said. Now, if ever there's a oh my God, I can't remember it right now. When we go up and break, I'm gonna find it. But there's a meme where the person said, "Lion! Lion!" Ball out for that, because that's what took place. And I am compelled to respond. And so it's because I have the context matters going on right now why I haven't done so. But again, remember the name, and the next time that the Minister of Justice and Constitutional Affairs gets up and say Jamaica does not have a human rights problem, think of Latoya Bougie-Baldwin, think of Ricardo Gale, think of the brothers from Stairtown, think of Nemard from Westmoreland, yeah? Think of think of the 11 persons unalive this week that prompted the Justice Minister to say, notwithstanding that 11 persons were unalive, justice is taking place in Jamaica. There is no human rights problem. Think about homelessness. Think about the Bengal issue that the Supreme Court, where the custos morum of the Constitution rests and reside under the guidance of two of the most erudite Afro-Caribbean people in the world. Justice Sykes, the Honorable, and Honorable Justice McDonald Bishop, UVEX. Yeah? So when I just call the name for call it because it's performative, there is something fundamental about Afro identity. And I'm setting it up now, because on the 23rd, none can come for me. When we're having the conversation about the importance of Afro identity and where it is that you identify with your people and you encourage them to elevate, and you have side conversation, because Jesus said when somebody in the wrong, you pull them to the side and talk to them before you come out in public and chastise them and suspend them and do everything to tear down their reputation. And you have to fight for justice, fight for human rights. And it's not everybody have the money to fight for human rights. And I will say, if you're in a country where you have to fight for your human rights, we have a human rights problem. It can never be in any country that one lawyer, me, Isaac Buchanan, fight for stopping the state of emergency, unconstitutional, fight for Rasta Picnic to go to school. Yes? I don't even remember what the primary school did name. What the primary school did name over Portmore. Yeah? And this government that said them don't have that they don't have a human rights problem. Yeah. And Jamaica, I remember one reporter said, why is he taking our business out of Jamaica? It's our private business. Human rights violation from the Coral Gardens massacre. Rasta people are get a fight. So yes, I have up Gail. And yes, I spoke about Carmelo Anthony, young man all the way in Texas. Yes, Afro identity is important. Whether you're Caribbean, whatever it is, all of these things is important. And I want people to understand and appreciate more than anything. And let me make this absolutely clear. The next time they talk about justice, think about the reality, man. That due process, fair trial rights, yeah? A privy council, we have to go forget that. Yeah? Think about how it is that just because of the color of your skin, a police officer can take 5 years of your life to say, I identify him and him did black. June 23rd, you're going to hear the story about Antonio Thomas. And then we talk about a human rights problem. And many, and I will say this again, Jamaica has a human rights problem, and the result of that problem has caused many Isaac Buchanans to not reach their potential because their parents had to bury them. Jamaica has lost so many moments to capitalize on the human capital, but we're right there at the commercial break, and we're going to be back. We're going to be back, yeah? We are going to be back.
It's all in life. Gotta keep your head up and keep it straight. No time for living a lie. Gotta keep it moving till you get it right. That's right. It's all in life. Gotta keep your head up and keep it straight. No time to be living a lie. You can make it if you try. No, I heard them say life much better you live it your own way.
Rain, sun, or shine, the work is being done. Standing here in Prospect Land Settlement, where we are completing a stretch of the Paris County Roadway, and I can tell you this, the residents right now very happy that we got the road. Once again, promise made, promise kept. Standing here with Wayne Mackenzie.
Today the paving was slated for, and we are paving in the rain. A few years ago, when persons, especially in this area, because at the back of it, at landscaping, there was not by the pouring, where people always say that we always do work at the front and they are left out. I told them the next time the work is done on this road, it will be this section. I know the Member of Parliament will be assisting greatly in many other areas within the division. Within the entire constituency, because it speaks technically of the Prospect division and the Port Antonio division that we have held since 1986. We will be doing great work. East Portland will see tremendous development under this Member of Parliament. Prospect and Port Antonio will see equally that significant amount of improvement, not just as it relates to road, but general and physical infrastructure, porting facilities, education, health in every area, because we intend to bring the East to ensure the true development of East Portland and the parish of Portland overall.
You know, I just want to say one thing though. In the 40th year of all the days, Councillor Wayne Mackenzie pick a green shirt.
and having on the green shirt, you know, it is a significant statement of it, that we are not partisans.
Yeah, thank
we
you,
can
thank
wear
you.
whatever we want. It is not fully green, but it is green enough. But it's not about the color, it's about the performance and the contribution. But democracy is what we believe in. And democracy means irrespective of everything, everybody, we are inclusive. And green it is, but the trees are also green. And remember, progress is us. Orange, red, People's National Party. I don't care. We just want to know that we are representing people. And we will always treat everybody, JP, PNP, the no P. We are inclusive.
Yeah, we will assess that response and see if that was a correct response for the violation of the green shirt. But what's right?
Right, it's all in life. Gotta keep your head up and keep it straight. No time for living a lie. Gotta keep it moving till you get it right. That's right, it's all in life. Gotta keep your head up and keep it straight. No time to be living a lie. You can make it if you try. No, I heard them say life much better live it your own way.
Welcome back. This is the second hour of Context Matters, and if you're just joining, we're talking about what's going on. We are talking about mystery versus history. It's a mystery that anybody would want to go down and put in the history books that Jamaica doesn't have a human rights problem. And so for that, Chucky, you're not lucky at all. So yeah, you're having a serious problem with the justice. We'll talk about that. But let me tell you, for my people who are listening, because I'm seeing the messages, Portland Eastern, the Manchineal Divisional Conference is scheduled for June 14th at 6 p.m. The Manchineal Primary School. And let me tell you something, just go put it there. I'm going to surprise the principal and the school, Manchineal Primary, because netball court is coming to that primary school. We are going to asphalt the primary school, the court, and haven't had the conversation yet with the current Minister of Education, but we have good relationship, and I don't want to scandal her yet, but I have a feeling that she's going to assist me, and we're going to get that court up. If it don't happen before the end of summer, definitely students of the Manchineal Primary, when you come back into school September morning, is at the parking lot. I go, yeah, it out. But sorry, I don't dance. I don't dance on the road. I fix them, all right? Anyway, so be there, June 14th, Manchineal Primary School. Yeah, big up yourself, Michelle Donegan. Keep doing the great work that you're doing. We see you and we appreciate you. Now, I must say, hey guys, before I go back to our usual programming, did you guys see this? Isaac Buchanan, Portland Eastern Night Football League. Big things, big things. And out of the football league, something big is coming. And let me just announce it here real quick. You see, dialysis is a real problem. Many persons come to the office of the Member of Parliament, and with that, they always need money to transport and to go and get dialysis all the way in Kingston. Port Antonio Hospital, it just don't have the facilities, and dialysis is the only thing that, when your kidneys go bad, is the only thing that's preserving you unless you get a kidney transplant. Many people can't afford that. one of the journeys, I tell you, even before I became a politician, I tell you, I learned a lot from Ralph Gonzalez, the then Prime Minister for St. Vincent and the Grenadines. If you saw the facilities that they had out there, in fact, Vibes Cartel went to St. Vincent and the Grenadines. So medical treatment, treatment, medical assessment. So in my mind, I know what Jamaica needs. I know what Port Antonio needs. And I know the type of hospital beds that they need. And we have to leg of the crank up and the wind down and wind up. And I must tell you this, with the greatest of respect, the vision is to make sure, say, all the hospital beds are changed out. If it's going to be done privately between the charities and what I do here, through the GoFundMe and through partnership with the many foundations that I can tell you has been assisting me. That's how it's going to be done. And so I'm going to say through the football league, the hope is to have mobile dialysis coming down. And yeah, when you hear the name and when you hear all kind of something, but I'm going to tell you that I'm going to partner with Jack then, and I'm going to get the dialysis to come to the persons to minimize the cost. Cause just $2 million the MP them getting at the CDF. And the other day me see the mayor of Kingston say, yo, we're giving allocations to councillors $13 million. I would say me almost call up the Honorable Darrell Vaz and the Prime Minister and say, lend me on an anti-bad mind cap, make me wear one. Because I want to know, councillor get $13 million and only $20 million them give a MP for 5 divisions. 5 divisions me run. So me never mean for attack politics right now. But if a councillor gets $13 million for his 1 division in a Kingston and St. Andrew, and an MP gets 20 million, do you realize that if you have 5 divisions, it's only $4 million you have, while the council have all of that? And again, Portland, we got conversations to have about improving your life and improving your space. But you see, because I don't say I have zero expectations in terms of the type of assistance and I'm aware of sabotage, I'm going to do what I have to do. So from the football league, the hope, and I'm calling on the community and everybody to support, because when the youth them come out and do the night football, we're doing it so that our brothers and sisters that having kidney problem, I see when they drink all that rum and then they drink the boom, and young as is, and they not take care of the body, and they not drink up on the pure water. Yeah, I big up pure water, because pure water, I deal with it right now. And when they not do those things, these things will reach you. Young people are we need to have more conversation about health, because health is wealth. So part of the heat, bringing the heat, is the mandate, and we're getting there. So again, if y'all didn't see this, see it here. Show it again. Yeah, man. Yeah, so looking forward to that. Now, getting back, I spoke about what the minister said, and it's because we have context matters going on right now. So I know the opposition spokesperson on justice is going to do what she have to do, but human rights, I gotta talk about it. It's something I have to do. I just have to do it. You understand? And for those reasons, I must say, and let me say it now. Yeah, for those reasons, we're doing what we have to do. And one of the things we have to do is respond to things that you just can't leave. You can't leave unannounced. That's what you say. You just can't, in terms of a duty that you have to people, you can't leave certain things unannounced. I don't know if you agree with me, but that's my take. That's my take, at least. So hear me now. you know, you wear many hats, and notwithstanding if the filter now work, how I'm gonna say this is, you know, for the second time this week, or for the in the last 2 weeks or 3 weeks, because this we soon play the video when me ask Observer for retract. But for now, hear me out. I'm calling on the Minister of Justice and Constitutional Affairs to retract or clarify dangerous and misleading comments on human rights in Jamaica. Right? So, I'm going MP mode now, opposition spokesperson mode. And I'm saying this. I'm deeply concerned by recent comments attributed to the Minister of Justice and Constitutional Affairs, the Honorable Delroy Chuck, in Parliament, and subsequently carried by the Jamaica Observer, in which he stated that Jamaica does not, and I hope will never, have a human rights problem. The minister reportedly went further, suggesting that citizens who experience human rights violation can simply seek recourse through the Office of the Public Defender, asserting that the office is empowered to prosecute any human rights breach. That statement is simply not accurate and requires immediate clarification or retraction. As the Minister of Justice, Mr. Chuck has an obligation to accurately represent the constitutional and legal framework of Jamaica. The Office of the Public Defender does not prosecute human rights violations in the manner suggested by the Minister. The Public Defender investigates complaints, makes recommendations, and reports on breaches of constitutional rights. It is therefore misleading to suggest that the citizens whose rights have been violated can simply rely upon that office to prosecute those responsible. More troubling, however, is the minister's assertion that Jamaica does not have a human rights problem. How can such a statement be reconciled with the reality confronting many Jamaicans today? The right to life, which sits at the very core of our Charter of Fundamental Rights and Freedom, has come under increasing strain in recent months alone. Jamaica has witnessed numerous fatal encounters involving members of the security forces. Most recently, there have been reports of multiple police-related incidents resulting in the deaths of citizens, including a series of incidents that reportedly left 11 Jamaicans dead within a short period. For grieving families, these are not abstract statistics. They are sons, daughters, mothers, fathers, brothers, and sisters whose death demand scrutiny, accountability, and transparency. To suggest that Jamaica has no human rights concerns is in the face of these realities would be to ignore the lived experience of many citizens and to diminish legitimate public concerns regarding constitutional rights, police accountability, due process, and access to justice. The Constitution of Jamaica is not self-executing. It requires constant vigilance, respect, and protection from those entrusted with public office. Human rights are not only violated when courts make findings. Human rights concerns arise whenever there are credible allegations of unlawful killings, excessive use of force, arbitrary state action, or infringements of the fundamental freedoms guaranteed by our Constitution. As opposition spokesperson on youth and human rights, I reject any attempt to trivialize or dismiss these concerns. I therefore call on Minister Chuck to immediately retract or clarify his remarks and to explain how he reconciles his statement with the numerous reports, investigations, and public concerns surrounding alleged constitutional violations and the growing debate about the protection of the right to life in Jamaica. The Jamaican people deserve honesty from their leaders. They deserve a government that recognizes human rights challenges when they arise and work to address them rather than pretending they do not exist. And I'm going to call on all Jamaicans to reappreciate that respect for the Constitution demands nothing less than saying to the Minister of Justice and Constitutional Affairs that he's to retract these dangerous statements. It is just 2 weeks ago, he out of context was saying, and it's a misquoting of the law, that the police could unalive citizens of this country if they were suspected of committing a felon, a fleeing felon. Yeah? It is a complete misinterpretation of the law and the doctrine of stare decisis. Judge-made rules, matters that have been ventilated to the court. So it's no wonder that in the same speech, the Minister of Justice has gotten up and said to the whole of Jamaica that the final court of appeal must be right here, so in Jamaica. And him say, yeah, you can bring some judge from all Hong Kong if you want. Bring them the best from the Caribbean, but it must happen in Jamaica. This is when we don't even have good courthouse, because I can tell you, if you want to catch pile, hemorrhoids, sleeping foot, leptospirosis, just go into the court them with the tough bench them. Yeah? And if it were not for Justice Sykes to use maintenance money to reconstruct a space in places. Let me tell you something, you know. I tell you about Plato's cave and the allegory of the cave. It's important. So as a man that go to the Privy Council and sit down in the chair them west off right in front of the judges, and we sit at a round table and the judges is not so high up and mighty, and they said, let us investigate and ventilate breaches of constitutional rights out of respect for the Constitution, because the Constitution is for us and by us, and we cannot interfere with the matters of Jamaica, and in so doing we can only give effect to the rights. And so I didn't hear, although the position of the People's National Party, clear as day, is that we must go to the CCJ. I am one of the very few attorneys in Jamaica that have practiced in the Privy Council and the CCJ and have winning judgments to show it. And I can say that the judges of the Caribbean Court of Justice are familiar with the improvement and advancements to jurisprudence. They are the lecturers at the University of the West Indies. I further reject the statement by the Honorable Minister to say that we're not advancing Caribbean because we need to have our own court. What is UWI? UWI is the melting pot of the Caribbean. UWI is where you find citizens across the Caribbean to make you know, say, the whole of we bright and the whole of we are one. It is where you go, where you would appreciate that when Haitians come to this land, you would give them asylum and assist them. You wouldn't just send them back and treat them like they're nothing. It is where we understand that as Caribbeans, we have shared experiences and remnants of the post-traumatic slave syndrome that took place with our brothers and sisters. It is there where we talk about and appreciate why the Jamaican language known as Patois. I'm from Uptown, so you have to understand, it's Patois. Walk with it. Why Patois can be spoken as the Jamaican language. It is the first language that many Jamaicans have experienced from communities, and to disregard it in spaces where our identity and the advocacy for us, they sent us there and said, let us not speak like them. And they say that there are no human rights problem in this country. I dare reject that. And so when it comes to human rights, that's one thing I'm passionate about. Don't you dare do that. Retract. Respect. These issues are live and these issues are important to our advancement, our existence. And I can tell you this, Jamaica also has a corruption problem. And if you want to ever experience a Jamaica where we become like Singapore when Singapore was begging to become like us, you dare not talk about constitutional amendments that would have a Jamaican court as the final court. And for the record, right now as we're speaking about the CCJ, is a Jamaican run the CCJ as the president. Another black man, erudite. But it's a problem to some of them. So I go and talk and who vex. Come touch me now. Touch a button now. Yeah. Saying it. So again, as I say and I quote, Manley, Augustus, Big Youth, Buchanan, Chucky, you're not lucky. Not with them conversations there. And remember, we were sent there by the people, and we have a duty to be the creatures of the Constitution that serve the people, because the people are above us. There is no land, no law, nothing in this country that can put the people below anything we are doing. And the minute you do that, I'm gonna say, don't you do that. And I'm sure me never know. Billiard, ball game, a big game. I tell him, and he never listen. Yeah, Chucky not lucky. So moving on from that. I also, I'm gonna say before I transition, what's going on? Because you cannot, you saying some of the things that you say is a mystery to the people. You're not making history, you're making mystery. Because long after we are not here, those with the capacity and aptitude to review the Hansard is going to say, I wonder if the canteen in a parliament, I put the wrong thing in the rum. I who make it rum? But I'm gonna leave it at that. So anyway, big up Kern. Every time I say Kern, I say we have to earn. Because you see right now, you know, Fairy Hill, a bill we have to go bill. Alright, anyway. Leave that one alone. So anyway, the next thing that happened is about contribution. Because you see, Parliament is not a contentious space like you think. And while we're on constitutional rights, nobody can take away my right to freedom of expression and my right to choose, my right to assemble, my right to associate, my conscience and belief, my political ideas. Nobody. And so as a parliamentarian, I exercise my right to freedom of expression. You can come in, because when you call June 23rd, you know, may I tell you, you know, make sure to tune in, subscribe to the Jamaica Parliament and put it in for click and make sure say you see my sectoral debate. And here's why. When we're talking about identity, I'm going to say it real quick, and because they like to cut up and say what we say. When we talk about identity and when we talk about expression and when we talk about representation and advocacy and why it matters, you will appreciate why. I can't speak for everybody else, but I can call on the Speaker of the House and say, Madam Speaker, protect me. And even though Madam Speaker is from the other party, to see Madam Speaker as the Speaker of the House. Yes, and I'm talking about the Honorable Juliet Cuthbert. Not Cuthbert, a wholeness, you know. Anyway, why I'm speaking about her is I am always proud to know that representation matters, and seeing her as a black woman in that chair. And because I'm sarcastic. Sarcasm is my thing. And I saw the banter yesterday, because let me tell you, what warmed my heart yesterday was when the Honorable Natalie Nita Garvey stood up, and in her presentation, I'm going to show you why I tell you, say, we have a human rights problem in this. The human rights problem is the lack of compassion. When I heard the Honorable Natalie Nita Garvey got up, opposition spokesperson on garbage and local government and these things, and she said, listen, I am sending my condolences to member of parliament from St. James, the Honorable Malahoo Fort, because she lost her husband. That's a stateswoman. And while she's giving her speech, and she said, Madam Speaker, I am well behaved and I'm well aware of time. And I don't want no time for you. And Madam Speaker said, I'm going to lock off your mic because you don't want no time from me. And the banter, people will miss it. Because I saw the people in the people that live in TikTok land and the bloggers making much ado about nothing. And the extra time was given to her. Respect commanded, respect earned. And it was banter between two powerful black women who understood the assignment and showed girls all over, say, women must empower each other and women must give each other the respect even when men are in spaces not doing it. And so those things make me feel good when I see that level of unity, when I see people understand the sarcasm. And then I'm going to show you one video because I'm going to tell you something. After me I talk about my lover, you want to say, oh, Madam Speaker want to blam me up when I make my contribution. But I'm not say nothing still because I just call her husband and say, yo, remember we know it's big the same, you know. We have to stand up and we have to defend with big nose. We can't just make anybody just deal with it anyway. So as I use the leading member of the big nose society, we can't have them at this way. Because representation matter, you know, to all the big nose people, them all across Jamaica. Them vote for we because we know it's big. So, yeah. I call my big nose brethren and say, yo, brother, I not like how your wife a deal with we, you know, because we know it's big. She can't just remember we have one heap of big nose people all across Jamaica. And the only reason you win the last election is because you know it's big. No other reason. But anyway, me want to show you. Tell me if I like. We're gonna play the video and then you're gonna tell me if I like me, I tell. Alright, hold on. See ya. Too lie, you're too jealous. That's not enough. Yeah. So anyway, while the video loads, somebody said, I want my bro Zamba there. I just see Zamba laugh. Let me tell you what happened to Zamba last night on TikTok. He thought that I was gonna take him side when my nieces, my nephews, no, when the next and children, when my kids, when my kids, your kids, when the next generation is dep on the TikTok, and them are gonna get the lions and the tigers and the bears. You're a big man. You have to go find your things. So me not gonna make you beat up on the next generation. Zambo, I'm the opposition spokesperson on youth. So of course, if you're going to in a match on TikTok with my niece, with my nephew, with my sons, with my daughters, of course them are gonna get it. You would do the same. Allow me to tell me if I lie. People talk truth. That's a TikTok thing though. Anyway, hold on. Let me find it in the finder. Too lie, too jealous. They never had to do it. You never had to do it. All right. I think I got it now. I'm gonna find it. It look like I don't want to tell you how I'm gonna know that once the main slow.
Amendments member.
Yes, he's here.
I do, Madam Speaker. It would have been section 43.
Just one section?
Just one section, and the drafters are here.
I
It's a
think
matter for the- it's
we
just
should hear
one.
you out first. Minister,
Okay.
Minister, I would be minded to hear Member Buchanan. He has one amendment that he would like to, so go ahead, Member Buchanan.
So in section, well, it would be, I would say, clause 43, section 43. Clause 43, there was an insertion, 19C, so it's about the offense. So it says, where an aircraft is in use for air transport service, a person who willfully removes from an aircraft. It then has or, and then it has omits to place on board. I've read several other similar legislations, and they are a bit archaic. The question I'm putting here is that I think because one is showing an offense where knowledge is required, but then where the or is, it's showing a strict liability offense. No. This is for the drafters. They can accept or reject, but I'm foreseeing that it can be somewhat problematic, because we know due process is being used a lot lately, and it may form part of a way to circumvent the object and purpose of the legislation. So I'm just asking that after the or, that if the drafters would best know what they were hoping to achieve here, but I'm thinking either willfully or knowingly has to be there, because it is an omission offense. No, right. So the omitting can take place in two circumstances. Just recently there was some famous Jamaican pilot that won, and he won because of the lack of knowledge. So I'm simply saying that here it can be intentionally or willfully. I don't know. Just asking the drafters that after the or, the omission, and I'll just say for the benefit of the record.
Please read 19C under 43, which speaks to willfully.
Yes, I have that. I have that.
Mm-hmm.
I do see the willfully, but the willfully in this situation, based on how it's drafted, and I did look at the other ones that face problems through statutory interpretation in other jurisdictions, and I'm saying for the due process aspect.
So your recommendation is,
because
for the drafters,
right,
I would say you're putting forward an amendment. I would recommend that you make the amendment you're suggesting.
No, but I did. But the draft,
No. So what
Yes.
I'm saying to you is say the amendment you're recommending.
the amendment is after the or, and it could be
Or willfully
willfully or knowingly omits.
Okay.
And there is an art form for them, but wish to say, Madam Chairman,
Point clear.
the crimes of omission is from there is no general duty to act, and because this is a statutory duty, the defense would be that I didn't know that probably my co-pilot knowingly removed it.
Yes.
So I made checks, and it would
Point
invite
taken,
a
member.
defense if it's
Minister,
not there. Thank you.
time now being 7:01, the drafters are recommending that we use willfully omit. Do you have any objection, Minister? No. So that would be added to the suite of amendments. Thank you so much, member. Minister?
I think, yes. So note. Like I said, when you see for yourself how I get bad up from the Speaker of the House. It's a real bad up, and I feel like my constitutional rights were violated. But I'm gonna leave that. I do. So that was sarcasm, just in case you never know. So again, we have to understand that in the House of Parliament, your duty to the people that brought you there is to ensure that their rights, even during the drafting of legislation, they are protected. The people of Jamaica are the human beings, and we that sit in Parliament are the creatures of the Constitution. Servants, less than the people of Jamaica. And so we have to train our minds to appreciate that. We must be able to do that. And that's as high as I can take it, and say that I will ventilate the issue fulsome on the 23rd of June. But I must say to the people who are in Canada, Toronto to be specific, the Iowa Awards are taking place on Saturday, the 20th of June. I will be there. Get your tickets. You can message me, you can call me, we can have conversations about it. I will definitely promote it. But taking the opportunity right now for those, because I know that from Reggae Global Radio, certainly from YouTube and from TikTok, that you know, my fans in the diaspora, my supporters in the diaspora, we're gonna have conversations, and we're gonna continue the work. And I like to take this opportunity always to thank the diaspora, a large cross section of from Canada who have supported the Roof projects, multiple organizations who would have come into the play and done that. We appreciate you and we love you from Portland Eastern, and continue the service and support for the people of Portland Eastern. I'm gonna also now speak on this is the last topic we're gonna have, and let me tell you, just gear up, because again, this been a whole week of telling people to retract nonsense, and the nonsense I speak of right now is two, not one, two articles from the Jamaica Observer, and I'm gonna tell you about state media. State media have a way where they just suppress anything, so you might not have seen it in the space. You might not even have heard of it, that a press release was sent out, and in that press release, we rubbish any of the content of both articles to say that there is access to Blue Lagoon and that the people are tell lie and misleading Jamaica. It was the most self-serving and misleading and politically charged article. And so last week I would have shown a video, and perhaps, you know what, it may suit me to do so first, so we can put things into context. Here's a video that was shown last week, and it involved persons complaining about the time they were allowed to access the Blue Lagoon. Cannot access the Blue Lagoon until the security guards are there to tell you whether you can go in or not.
Page. How many police came here this morning?
5 policemen and one with a big old rifle.
What did they say?
They said we cannot come and swim here.
What time of the morning is it that now?
Early morning, before 9. Yeah.
Before 9, yes. See?
So the people them go to work at 9 a.m. So
yes.
Nobody can come and swim before work.
Which is so ridiculous, yes.
So is Jamaica for Jamaicans, or is Jamaica for the Canadians and the Americans and the Europeans? Who is Jamaica for?
Mighty God. This is so sad. Yeah, this is why we say access, free access to our beaches. Yes,
To all beaches.
To all
everybody.
beaches, everybody. Yes, so you don't know specific time to come and use your beaches. Yes, they are sacred. They are for the people.
different uses, different meditation, different vibration. Some early in the morning, some late in the evening, some at midnight. Yes, this is the tradition. This is what my people used to do. We got to come down and we have to honor the water of water and spirit. Yes.
Stolen from Africa, forced to this land.
See?
And then you form a language, you form a culture, you form a people, and then you take the land away from the people. That's not even our original land.
Unacceptable.
And we made a land here.
Totally
we
unacceptable.
Made a land here. We made a culture here,
Unacceptable.
and you want to take it away from us again. You take Africa away from us.
It's crazy.
You take our original last names away from us.
Jabem, you
And
hear the
wanna
call.
take away
Jabem,
everything.
keep doing what you got to do, Jabem, yes. See you tonight. Jacksel, yes. Screaming, beach in bondage, yes. We all got to be there. I wish you all could come also to share your experience. It would be so great for you to be there in Jacksel tonight to share your horror experience this morning at the Blue Lagoon. Yeah, it would be so amazing.
You're on an island.
Jabem,
You're on an island
hear the cry.
surrounded from water. But you can't go into the water because police come with big rifle and tell you you're not supposed to swim until a lifeguard is watching you. Me, I'm my own man, my own master. Nobody is above me. And them tell me can't go swim.
Setting the context, this is not just Jamaicans complaining. These are people saying, listen, I have the freedom to do, I'm my own big man. And that's coming from a white man. And say, I'm my own sound German. But he speak patois way much better than me because, you know, I speak the Queen's English. I don't know. One thing I try not to do is to dabble in the patois. From Upper St. Andre, I would never dare speak that type of language. You know, as someone from, you know, uptown, UPT and thing. But he basically said that he definitely and certainly can't take rifles in his face telling him that he can't swim without a lifeguard and that it was too early. And I guess the property was not open and whatever. So access, free access, unfiltered access in a manner. And so 2 articles came out because another video was circulating and even the member of parliament from West Portland posted the video followed by 2 articles. So it's a part of the social media campaign to deceive the public. But just remember that there is a case in the court in relation to access, in relation to the rafters who were making as little as $100,000 a day from rafting. An industry that is being stifled, a tourism product that is being suppressed and destroyed by bad governance. And so, as the representative, the member of parliament for Portland Eastern, of course I'm going to respond to nonsense in the media because the lived human experience will never be misrepresented. The Blue Lagoon issue is a hot topic. So we're not gonna just let it go like that. We're gonna respond. And remember, don't do that. Don't you dare do that. Because we are here to respond. Listen to the response.
The following is a release from the People's National Party Media Unit.
I am Isaac Buchanan, Member of Parliament for Portland Eastern and the opposition spokesperson on youth and human rights. I am compelled to strongly condemn the recent reporting by the Jamaica Observer concerning the Blue Lagoon, which has created a misleading and distorted narrative about access to one of Portland's most treasured natural landmarks. Let me be clear, the issue is not whether persons can physically enter portions of the property. The issue is that the Blue Lagoon is not currently open for free public use and enjoyment in the manner that Portlanders and Jamaicans alike have historically known and exercised. To suggest otherwise is misleading and ignores the very concerns that have given rise to years of public debate, litigation, and advocacy. The video now circulating online does not settle the question of public access. In the footage, the narrator states that he visited the attraction to check out the access and concluded that there was access available.
However, the existence of some form of entry does not mean that the long-standing concerns regarding unrestricted public access, traditional use, and public rights have been observed. Those are the issues that are at the heart of the dispute. What is equally troubling is the attempt to present a complex and contested matter as though it has been conclusively determined. The public deserves journalism that informs, not reporting that oversimplifies and misleads. The Blue Lagoon is not just another tourist site. It is a national treasure and should be treated with a seriousness and dignity that a national monument deserves. I must also address the broader context. For far too long, the Blue Lagoon access issues has been clouded by confusion, litigation, and public misrepresentation. Rafters have been barred from the property, and that fact alone raises serious questions about fairness, access, and who has been permitted to benefit from a national asset that in spirit belongs to the people of Portland and Jamaica by extension. These are matters that should be examined carefully and honestly, not reduced to sensational headlines or simplistic conclusions. There are also critical questions surrounding the historic road access to the Blue Lagoon. Portlanders know that a traditional public route is closed after a certain point each day, raising legitimate concerns about who has the legal authority to restrict access and under what rights such restrictions are being imposed. These are not trivial matters. They go to the very heart of whether public rights have been diminished over time and whether access that was once freely enjoyed by generations of Jamaicans has been unlawfully or improperly curtailed. Equally concerning is the issue of privately paid security personnel operating in and around areas traditionally accessed by the public. The people of Portland deserves answers as to the authority under which these security guards act, the extent of their powers, and whether members of the public are being discouraged, restricted, or prevented from accessing areas to which they may have lawful rights. The concerns cannot simply be brushed aside by a superficial claim that access exists. The real question is whether access is free, meaningful, unrestricted, and consistent with the rights historically enjoyed by the public. There are also concerns in the public domain about concrete structures being dangerously close to the lagoon, including structures associated with high-profile individuals and prominent Jamaicans. If those concerns are accurate, then the public has every right to ask how such development was allowed around a site that should be preserved and protected as a national monument. The people of Portland deserve transparency, accountability, and respect for the natural heritage they have fought to defend. The Jamaica Observer owes the public a duty to correct the record. I'm therefore calling on the persons responsible for these misleading publications to do the responsible thing and retract both articles. Where the public record is distorted, the harm is not merely reputational, it is cultural, economic, environmental, and legal. Portlanders know the truth. They know that the Blue Lagoon is not presently available for free public use in the way it once was. They know that concerns regarding access remain unresolved. They know that questions surrounding the closure of traditional road access remain unanswered. They know that privately paid security guards have become part of the access controversy. They know that rafters have been excluded, and they know that the courts, after due process, will reveal all. I urge all media houses to exercise greater care, greater accuracy, and greater responsibility when reporting on matters of public interest and heritage and community access. The Blue Lagoon belongs to a story larger than any headline, and that story must be told honestly, fairly, and as always, context matters. Therefore, we must report matters in their proper context.
Visit our website at pnp.org.jm or check us out on Facebook at Jamaica PNP.
let me repeat that. I will just say this. There are persons who will use their platforms to mislead the people in public interest matters. And the narratives will be painted, and that is why I say context matters. And I just need people to kind of really understand this and pay attention. Jamaica is for the Jamaicans. Nothing done, nothing said that affects the advancement, improvement, and elevation of Jamaicans can be accepted. Jamaica is not for the elite only. Development must include the least among us. Nobody is asking to spoon feed those, but as a nation that have 3 million people, and it's not even 3 million there right now, that is Jamaicans. Because one thing about Jamaicans, them self-sufficient and ambitious. And if there wasn't a drive to criminalize Jamaicans and prevent them from can get visa and go a foreign, you best believe they would be gone a long time ago. And they would have taken the bird, the boat, or whatever it is, and go and look a better life for themselves. We're talking about access to opportunities. So when we have paper pushing and performative, statistic-driven realities, it is far removed. You know, yesterday I heard Damian Crawford speaking to the governor of BOJ, who is retiring, and he asked him about all of these nice, fancy, big words and all of these big numbers. And if you are like me, you don't have no clue what's going on there. But all people want to know when them big things are going, you know, how the food are go, how the food are run, who are running boat. Yeah? Who is running the boat? Who is responsible for the fact, say, every time we work, 60% of my money going on food. Whether if I no food for me, a food for other people, when me responsible for picking it. If I no food for me, it's food for picking it. And nothing worse than when you work. You understand? You're upon it and you work. And you feed, you know, and the woman them a boops you out with the little money where you work, and then gone left you. So what about the food? How does inflation affect food inflation? What is there in place? And then I made an observation, but you see, I never really talked to my accountant, Verona. I have to discuss the budget and the money business when I'm talking to her. And she have to explain to me, because me not true understand them things. So when them talk, I say, you want to see me in a parliament? Yes, man. And go on like me know what go on. I don't know what go on really in a them something there. True. If I no law, no might feel that. So then me sit down but me talk to Verona. I mean, did want to ask a question like context matters, we can figure things out. I'm gonna say to them, I say, but hold on. If the BOJ is regulating and rescuing the Jamaican currency and regulating the US dollar, you know, foreign exchange, why is there such a disparity between the currency exchange, the FX trading between the bank? But because the bank, the contractual agreement between the customer and the private banks is something that the BOJ can regulate if they want. But it has to be a level of extortion for a bank to be allowed to say, when my brother send me remittance from him TikTok lion them and him send me $100 US, me I go take it US, because then come on Jamaica, you know, your relative them come from foreign, give you the US $100 and it Chris Benjamin's baby, it's all about Benjamin, and you have it. Sometimes you put it on your phone and it in the case so everybody know you have $100. And then you go up at the bank because it's time to change it, and they want to give you $132 for the money. And then when the time now, because you get a green card because you finally met the girl come from America and you and her are married and you're gonna be 90-day fiance and you go up at the bank now and you're gonna change out some money for go foreign, them say you have to buy it for 165. So 132 to 165, a whole heap of money. My math's not too good, but I know enough different monies that in between. Stacking, Jamaican money, stacking, forget one paper. So anyway, those are the things me want to know about. Don't tell me about no inflation. So Flavor can tell me, say, save $2,000 hotel, I get one Pro Box. And one of them something and you say, if you get one of these, one heap of them there. Wait, let me see. One heap of these. These are the old money, but me I say one day you can sell one of them here for $1 million. Because the man, you see, the man in dep on 100 now, but one day him dep on 5,000. The man here with the next one. The man here. Yeah. So anyway, people, I just get a headache because I talk about maths. And I just want to know, say, big up on yourself. This was Context Matters. Next week, Context Matters, the Canada edition, will be aired out of Toronto. So, looking forward to my peoples in Canada to show their support. Somebody, and I must tell you, the Diaspora Conference is held in Montego Bay in Jamaica, and I'm gonna be there. So, for those of you who leave Canada and don't tell, have not told the state minister in the foreign affairs that is really ISAT to come to see and tell him it's the wrong Rasta. You understand? Don't break him heart. Just when you see me, when you whisper to me and say, ISAT are really you me come look for. Come see somebody in the comments say, oh, I wish I was there, but I'm coming down to the Diaspora Conference. Just come link me in the Diaspora Conference. Yes, Jean Jarrett, you're going to be here. I will see you before I leave. Somebody say I must spell diaspora. I don't know how to spell diaspora. You want the Patois that version or the English version? But anyway, blessing to you. This was Context Matters, Reggae Global Radio. I know you're all Best FM 100. I know you have another program. See you guys next week. TikTok. I know I'm not seeing a lion in our one of that one. Anyway, yeah, really good show. Thank you. The time went by so fast. I don't know how that happened. That's right. It's all in the line.
It took some time to understand. Yeah. Just what it takes to be a man. Now it seems each day you learn something to make a better way. Growing up ain't just a phase, it's reality. And sometimes it's hard to face the world with your head screwed on. But in time you will see it comes naturally, like the hurt and the pain. It's a part of the game. It's all a part of life, to laugh and to cry. That's right. It's all life. Gotta keep your head up and keep it straight. No time for living a lie. Gotta keep it moving till you get it right. That's right. It's all night. Gotta keep your head up and keep it straight. No time to be living a lie. You can make it if you try. You know I heard them say life much better you live it your own way. But if you need a helping hand, just call me, I will be your friend. And when it gets hard to face the world with your head screwed on, just tell yourself you can. And that's when you'll understand that the hurt and the pain, it's a part of the game. It's all a part of life, to laugh and to cry. That's right. It's all in life. Gotta keep your head up and keep it straight. No time for living a lie. Gotta keep it moving till you get it right. That's right. It's all in life. Gotta Gotta keep your head up and keep your stride. No time to be living a lie. You can make it if you try. You gotta keep on moving on. Don't let no one stand in your way. Gotta keep on pressing on. As we pray for better days, keep it moving. Moving to the next. When they try to bring you down, we gotta take it. Take it to the next level when they come around. That's right, it's all in life. Gotta keep your head up and keep your stride. No time for living a lie. Gotta keep it moving till you get it right. That's right, it's all in life. Gotta keep your head up and keep your stride. No time to be living a lie. You can make it if you try. Just keep your head up, yeah. Just keep your head up, yeah. Gotta keep your head up, yeah. Cause everything's gonna be alright. Keep your head up. Keep your head up. Keep your head up. Cause everything's gonna be alright. Cause everything's gonna be alright.